Welcome to the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 7 minutes. My name is Jeremy Poock, and I lead Senior Attorney Match. Today's in 7 minutes will focus on post sale, the 4 steps needed to achieve success. So let's jump right into it. Post sale, the parties are thinking to themselves, how can we achieve the success that we've negotiated in the agreement that we just signed? So before we can discuss the 4 steps needed to achieve success, let's look at why did these parties come together in the first place? Most senior attorneys, and senior attorneys are those attorneys that have practiced more than 30 years and often lead practices where they have younger attorneys in their firms, junior partners, partners, senior associates. At some point, they look at their junior attorneys in their practices and they'll realize that those junior attorneys, they really don't want to purchase their practice and they can't afford to either. And that then leads to senior attorneys thinking about, well, what's my preferred option? And the preferred option when it comes to selling law practice is considering joining a growing law firm because growing law firms present a winning combination where a senior attorney can sell his or her practice. The growing law firms often want and need the staff and the attorneys of a senior attorney led firm. And they appreciate the value that the senior attorneys present in terms of the experience and clients that senior attorneys offer. Why do growing law firms, why do they want senior attorneys to join their practices? And the reason why is because they recognize the benefits of growth by acquisition. That is, they're acquiring a senior attorney's practice, they are immediately growing in the practice areas that they share in common, and then the cross marketing opportunities that senior attorney led firms present to growing law firms. In terms of those 4 steps that are needed to achieve success after the parties have signed their agreement, the first step is the listening tour. That is, the parties have now joined forces, they're practicing together before they can go out and start increasing clients and benefiting from the agreement that they've signed. They really need to listen to what brought them together in the first place. And what brought them together is first the 5 components of value that senior attorneys present to growing law firms. That is the client list, the referral source list, the goodwill of a senior attorney's practice, the subject matter knowledge that they focus on, and the digital value that they've developed. The parties really need to listen to what comprises those 5 components of value. Also, the synergy value that brought them together. The growing law firms recognize that senior attorneys present tremendous synergy value, but they need to listen to each other first in terms of how can we grow clients together? Now that we've got a combined workforce, how are we going to work together? Now that we've got this tremendous cumulative experience that senior attorneys present and their staff and their lawyers present to our growing law firm, how are we going to leverage that? And in the 3.0 digital age that we're in now for law firms, how are we going to take advantage of the marketing value that a senior attorney's practice presents to us? After the listening tour, the party's next step to achieve success is adapting. That is, this next step involves both sides realizing that they'll need to adapt to one another. In terms of senior attorneys, the adaptation results from thinking about this is how we have always done it, right? That's that knee jerk reaction. This is how we've always done it over the many years that we've practiced in our office. For the growing law firms, their adaptation point is this is how we do it here. Both sides will need to realize that they'll have to adapt to each other. This is how we do it here and this is how we've always done it is not going to lead to success. And that leads to the third step to achieve success. And that third step is adoption. We need to adopt to how we can work together. And just to share 2 stories. One story is a senior attorney led practice that leads a practice, a national practice with many state filings in different state offices throughout the country. And they use a calendar system based on Outlook to make sure that they are filing the filings on behalf of their clients in a timely manner. Growing law firm, they use Google Calendar. Growing law firm says, well, this is how we do it here. You need to adapt. Senior attorney led firm, really their staff, They're saying, well, no, this is how we've always done it, and we want to be able to continue to do it our way. They then adopted a happy medium with each other, and they were able to work together. Another example, senior attorney who had always used secretaries for dictating his letters joins a growing law firm, winds up using a digital dictation device. May sound trivial, but that meant he wasn't working any longer with two secretaries to do the dictation, and the senior attorney adopted the new ways of the growing law firm. Then that leads to the fourth step to achieve success, which is now we're working together. After we've listened to each other, after we've adapted to one another, adopted ways to work with each other, now we can actually grow with each other. And that growth together is a function of trust transfer. Now that we know, like, and trust each other, senior attorney knows, likes, and trusts the attorneys of the firm where he or she has joined. Now he can start transferring clients from the senior attorney to the lawyers at the growing law firm where the attorney is joined, because the growing law firm has gained the trust of the senior attorney. Senior attorney, of course, has the trust of his or her clients, and they can start transferring that trust so the clients start becoming the clients of the growing law firm. And in the 3.0 digital age for law firms, that can be supersized. That is, trust transfer could become a 1+1=7 achievement when senior attorneys are not only transferring their clients on a one-by-one basis, but when they start engaging in digital marketing, when they take their client list and engage with their clients on LinkedIn, when they start recording podcasts and recording videos and writing articles and blogs and marketing in all kinds of ways to their client base that they never had the time to do, it can lead to a 1+1=7 result in terms of shared growth by this combined firm of senior attorney with growing law firm. And then when it comes to the success, how do the parties know that they have achieved success? Well, that's really easy in some respects, but it's different from both sides. From the senior attorney side, success is measured when the senior attorney realizes that I should have done this earlier. And here we'll share some thoughts, some typical thoughts that senior attorneys have when they've achieved success after joining a growing law firm. They know that they can now have a deeper bench of lawyers at the growing law firm that can capably represent their clients. They have more time to spend with their family outside of the office. They can finally take that 3-week vacation that they've aspired to take. And they have the time to actually reflect upon how do I grow my practice even more for those senior attorneys that want to continue practicing, which many of our clients do. And for the growing law firms, how do they know that they've achieved success? They've achieved success when those 5 components of value that senior attorneys present, that they negotiated through when they were negotiating the agreement for the parties to come together, those 5 components of value, they convert into energy sources for growing law firms. Those 5 components of value of the client list, referral source list, the goodwill, subject matter knowledge, and the digital value, those can all generate new clients, which is what the growing law firms want and need when they grow by acquisition and welcome senior attorneys into their practices. So for today's buzzer beater, post sale, the 4 steps needed to achieve success. We sign the agreement. Those 4 steps involve the listening tour, adapting to each other, adopting ways for working together, and then growing together. And by the time that they have achieved and worked through those 4 steps and they've reached the success that they want, the success for the senior attorney is that the senior attorney realizes that this is what they should have done earlier. And for the growing law firms, what they have recognized is that growth by acquisition is a tremendous way for growing law firms to achieve what they seek in terms of how can they build upon their shared practice areas with senior attorneys, and how can they cross market to the senior attorney's clients for both the senior attorney and growing law firms to achieve the success that both seek. And that is today's state of the market for law firm sales in 7 minutes. Really a little bit more than 7 minutes today.